school has sparked outrage after creating rich and poor zones in the playground to stop children from playing with sports equipment if they hadn't paid for it. The No Pay, No Play scheme at Wensbury Oak Academy launched last week, sparking fierce criticism and a petition from parents. The Parent Council at the West Midlands School asked for a voluntary £6 donation per child to purchase the equipment for pupils to play with at lunchtime. But when the scheme launched, children who hadn't paid were separated from those who had, to the dismay of outraged parents. Less than 24 hours after Mirror.co.uk highlighted the No Pay, No Play scheme, the school ended the scheme, with immediate effect. The Chair of Governors confirmed, "We have listened to the concerns raised and will be ending the scheme with immediate effect. We are a school that believes in putting our children at the heart of everything we do." A petition started over the segregation claims that the Parent Council requested children who hadn't paid be allowed to use the equipment anyway to avoid social and financial discrimination. But head teacher Maria Bull defended the move and said she was on the verge of calling the police after claiming she had received multiple threats from disgruntled parents. Do you have a story about a school we should know about? Email webnews@trinitymirror.com. Head teacher Maria Bull defended the move. Image, Wensbury Oak Academy. She told Mirror.co.uk, "Parents have behaved in a highly threatening manner on Facebook, telling me, I need a good slapping. This is not the way to behave. We have systems in place where parents can come and address their concerns. I am on the verge of calling the police." She added that the school didn't have any parents who could not afford the £6 cost and they had 8 months to pay. Mrs. Bull said buying the equipment was not her idea, but the school's parent council. "I would prefer children made up their own games in the playground," she told Mirror.co.uk. The academy, which is rated outstanding by Ofsted, has some 450 pupils and about 50 parents paid the £6. Mrs. Bull said this amounted to just 15 pence per week, and all that was purchased was a football, a rugby ball, a slinky, 2 skipping ropes, and some tennis balls. The children whose parents have paid are taken onto the grass and a member of staff organizes games using the equipment. She added that a couple of times a week, a child whose parents had contributed could invite a friend that hadn't paid to come and play with the toys. Last year the school's parent council decided to buy sports equipment for children to play with at lunchtime. Image, Iconica. Mrs. Bull added that staff also run after-school clubs for £2 a week, breakfast clubs for £3 and subsidised school trips. Schools get an awful lot of bad press for doing things that benefit the children, Mrs. Bull said. We are asking for just £6 a year. We are talking about a 20-minute area outside with some equipment. We are running this as a lunchtime activity club. I wouldn't ask parents to pay for another child's after-school club. Parents threatening staff, the head teacher. It's unacceptable. This is cyberbullying of a school. A petition, started by Angela Moore, stated that parents, children and staff were disgusted by the scheme that they had branded No Pay, No Play. The playground was separated into groups of paid and unpaid students, she wrote. This has caused outright disgust from children, parents, grandparents, staff and such like. The parents that have paid and parents that haven't are totally against the separation of the children, as this can cause upset, bullying and social exclusion amongst other things. We therefore request the scheme to be discontinued, as it's just not something that any of us wish to be associated with. The petition had garnered some 600 signatures, with people branding the scheme outrageous. One Wensbury Oak parent admitted her son had been upset he couldn't play with the new equipment. Another parent said, "Outrageous. Working in a primary school myself, I cannot begin to imagine the upset this has caused the children. Or even being human being, this idea is just ridiculous. What an awful example these children are being shown. Yes, it's only £6, but that can be a worrying amount to some people," added another. Labour MP for West Bromwich Adrian Bailey said, "Sandwell schools are facing a financial crisis due to cuts in government funding. Schools should not be put into a position where they are forced to approach parents for contributions for equipment that would usually be paid for using the school's mainstream budget. Inevitably this results in some parents being unable to contribute. This is especially true in a lower income like Sandwell, leading to a culture of social division and resentment. All children should have equal access to education, including equipment and facilities. This case is just one example of the consequences of government cuts to school funding.